Welcome to my class again today. We are going to look at dictionary data type. The reason why you are seeing it as mapping, which is dictionary data type, is because it has to do with key value pairs. So we are going to look at this and conclude with this Boolean. So let's get into dictionary data type. Python dictionary data type. Dictionaries are a powerful and versatile data type in Python. They provide a way to store and organize data using key value pairs. Unlike sequences, which are lists, tuples, strings, dictionaries are not ordered. Use curly braces to define dictionary, and you notice that this curly braces is also what we use for set, but you are going to see the difference between the dictionary data type and set. Each key value pair is separated by colon. For example, I declare a variable, my diction, and then you have name, John. So name is the key, John is the value, age is the key, 30 is the value, city is the key, New York is the value. Now, they are efficient for lookups and modification based on keys. I will explain practically to you what they mean by these lookups and modification. All right. Now, consider a scenario where you have a data set of students and you want to store information about each student, such as their grade in different subjects. A dictionary would be an efficient choice for this. For example, creating a dictionary to store student information. Student data, this is the dictionary. So is a variable that we are creating. And then by virtue of what you supplied, which is the data you supplied, this variable will take the class, dictionary class data type. So what are the parameters or what are the data you are going to supply to this variable called student data? Alice. So Alice is the key. That is the name of the one of the students, the key. Now you want to supply the the score of that of Alice in mathematics, the score of Alice in English, the score of Alice in science. Then you have Bob. What is the score of Bob in mathematics? What is the score of Bob in English? What is the score of Bob in science? So the best way to store this up is to use the data dictionary data type. That is the best way because this is the only way you'll be able to have Alice as the key, and then the value will also be on another data dictionary. So this is it. So I'm going to show you practically how this works. All right. Now the lookup. Lookup, retrieving grades for a specific student. So I want to retrieve the grade of Alice. Now this is it. Just for me to say, I declare another variable again, and I say Alice grade equals to, I will call that first variable, which is what the student data, and then I will supply the key that I want, and it automatically give me the output, which is what you are seeing here. So print Alice grade, which is this variable now, Alice grade, and it's going to give me all the value of Alice in each of the subjects. So practically we are going to see this. And then modification. If I want to change the value of English, like this student data, Bob, English, I want to change the value. It's very easy for me to do that if I'm going to use data dictionary. So based on the structure that I've created, it will be very easy for me to update the value of each of the subject for each student. So let's practically see how this works using our PyCharm. So let's declare a variable, which is, let's say, student data. So I'm declaring a variable, student data. Now I don't know what class this student data will belong, except I supply values to it, right? Okay, so I'll just say, let's say underscore diction. I'll just put it like this. And then using the curly bracket. So this is this. I'll say, since it is a string, so I'll put it name and then colon string again, John. So that is one data type. Then the other one is string, age, and then colon You put 30, then comma. The other one is city. So colon New York. All right. So I've declared, now this is the value I'm supplying. Now, based on this value, I will tell, let's find out what data type this my diction will belong. So I come here and I say print, and I call my type function, and I supply this my diction to it. And then I come here and I say print my diction. So let's find out data type that this variable will belong based on the value that we have supplied to it. And then we'll print out the values. So I execute this. Oh, it's because of this. Yeah, this is why we are getting the error. Okay, so this is it. Now let's execute it again. You can see name error. This is name error. Name, my diction is not defined. You can see there is no variable, there is no such variable as my spelling was correct, was wrong. That is why it threw me this error. So do me my diction, yes. So I'm going to execute this again. Now you can see it's telling me that the class of this my diction is what? The dic, data type dic, class dic. That is what it is. And then I ask it to print out the value of this my diction. So it's printing out name John, age 30, city this. Now I can say print my, then I'll supply name to it. So I'm asking now to print out the value of, this is the key. So print diction, print my diction name. So I'm calling this variable and I'm asking it to print out the value of what is inside this place. So when I execute this now, see it's going to print out John. Now, if I say print my underscore diction and I supply age. So what would be the value? So it's not going to print out John, and here it's going to print out age. And then this one, I say print addiction, and then I supply, no, city is a string. Okay, so when I run this, so it's going to print out, another one, another error again. So run it again. So you see, it print out New York. Now, if I want to see the inside of this dictionary data type, I just have to call my dir function and it will tell me. So if I say print and I call my dir and I put this my underscore diction. So what would be, let's see all the methods that are inside this dictionary data type. Now, these are all the methods that are there inside this class. These are all the methods that are in the class. These are all the methods that are in the class. So you can see I have values, I have update, I have set default, pop item, pop keys. These are all the functions that are there that I can use to operate on this data type. So that is that. So let's look at the concept of the lookup and the modification. So I'm just going to delete this and I will say, let's say student underscore data. That is what I've supplied. Now, that is a variable. So I'm going to say, I'll bring this in, then I'll call the first key, which is what? Alice, what I demonstrated there. Alice. Now, just to make this look nicer, so I'm just going to bring this down here. And I'll bring this here. So to make it look nicer. So I'll put this here, and then I will have to call another data dictionary again. Now in this one, I will say math, value is 95, comma, English, value is 90, comma, then science, value is 95. So now I'll put comma. I'll just come down here and put another one. I'll say Bob, right? And then this. So let me just copy this. Then we'll paste it here. Change this one to 98. Change this one to 85. And change this one to 90. Okay, so let's just leave it at these two. Now I have declared a variable which is what student data, and I'm supplying these values to it. So Alice is having in mathematics 95, English 90, science 95. Bob is having mathematics 98, English 85, science 90. All right. So let's find out what data type is this student data based on the values that we have supplied to it. So I can say print, and then I'll call my type function, and I'll supply student underscore data to it. So if I execute this, what is it going to give me? You see, it's the dictionary class data type. That is what it's telling me based on what I've supplied. Now I can now say print student underscore data. If I execute this, look at what it's printing. Alice, and then Bob. That is what it's printing. So I can decide that I want to print only that of Alice. So I can say print, that is the lookup. I can do it this way, or I can come here and declare another variable, Alice underscore grade. Right? I can declare another variable like this, and then this will now be student underscore data, and here I will call Alice. So I am declaring another variable called Alice grade. And then I'm calling this variable, which is what? This student data. And I'm asking it to give me the value of this key. So this key is Alice. So the value of this key will be returned, which is math 95, English 90, science 95. And that will be stored in this Alice grade. And then I'm going to print, I can I can type this and say Alice grade, right? And then I'll come here. So I'm going to call this Alice underscore grade. So I'm just going to print out the value that is here. So it's going to print out this string literal Alice grade colon, then to supply me the value of Alice grade, whatever is returned here. So this student data is this variable that I'm calling, and I'm looking inside this. I'm doing a lookup to say, give me the value of this key, which is Alice. Now, when you return it, store it in this Alice grade, then print out Alice grade is this. I can say Alice grade is, I can put it that way, and then call this variable. So when I execute this, it's just going to give me this. Okay, let me remove this one. Let me remove this and then run it again. So you see, Alice grade is math 95, English 90, science 95. That is it. So that is a lookup. So you can just look up into it, into the memory, and bring out the value of Alice directly. Now, if I want to change this English of Alice to 95, or to, yes, to 95, I can come here and say Alice underscore upgrade. I'm creating another variable. And then I'm going to say student underscore data, right? And then I'm going to call that key. So I'm calling this key Alice. And then since this is also a dictionary data type, which is also what? Key value. So when I go into this student data, I'm calling this key, which is what? Alice. And then inside it, I am going to call another key again, which is math. Or was it English? Let me change English. Or let me change math. Math. So I have to put this in. All right. Equals to 95. Okay. So what I'm saying here is that I'm calling this student data specifically, and I'm going to the key Alice. And inside this key, I'm going into the value. And inside this value, I have another key, which is what? Mathematics. And I'm saying change the value of this mathematics. Oh, mathematics is already 95. Okay, let's bring it down to 90. So change the value of this mathematics to 90. And then come here, I'm going to say print the upgraded value of Alice math score is Alice. underscore grade. Okay. So this one now, what I've just done is Alice grade. I'm calling this one print Alice grade. Then it will show me everything about Alice. Then I'm going to upgrade Alice grade, which is in mathematics. I'm going to downgrade it. Oh, okay. So let's change. Since I'm using upgrade, let's move this to 98. So student date Alice math is what? 98. Now this value is not going to be stored in Alice upgrade. And then I'm going to print out Alice upgrade. So execute. So Alice grade is math 95, English 90, science 95. The upgraded value of Alice math score is what? Math. You can see now when I call for this Alice grade, which is this again now, it's going to give me math 98, English 90, science 95. So it has upgraded this mathematics. Yeah, mathematics was 95. Now mathematics is now 98. So the lookup and the modification with data dictionary type is very easy for you to do lookup and modification. So that is what this is all about in data type. So the next one I'm going to show you now, and then we'll round up on data type is Boolean. Till then, bye bye.